love ECU?
Do you bleed purple and gold?
Are you ready to hoist the colors?
Hoist the colors!
It's time for the most in-depth look into the world of ECU athletics. Welcome to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Watch the show live on Facebook
and at 943thegame.com. Here's Stephen Igo.
It's Hoist the Colors, Tuesday, June 2nd. We roll on this week as ECU baseball has come to an end. The NCAA Super Regional field is set. We'll get into that, if not on today's show in depth, later on in the week, as we'll talk about the 16 teams remaining with the Omaha 8 on the line heading into this week. But we'll focus more on ECU baseball today. Excited about today's show. I woke up this morning thinking about the regional, covering it, and it just kind of popped into my head. The ECU-Tennessee game was being cited as such an all-time classic in ECU postseason lore. How does it stack up to some of the other great postseason games, specifically the great postseason regional games we've covered? And I came up with a list of 6 dating back to 2009, at least that I remember. I attended all these games, and I wanted to see where this ECU-Tennessee classic fit into that list. So we'll kind of break that down in segments 2 and 3. Excited to get into that discussion. Feel free to weigh in on the comments. I also tweeted about it as well on X. So looking forward to that discussion. And we'll continue to talk ECU baseball moving forward and the Chapel Hill Regional, putting that further in the rearview mirror as well. We have a crew today consisting of myself, Philip Pilkington behind the glass, and the man who welcomed me into the Cason Remaley estate in Mebane, North Carolina. Man, what a luxurious place you have, Cason. First off, immaculate. You keep that place immaculate. It's clean. It's, for going from my house where, like, you have 2 kids and just mess everywhere to your place, which is pristine, stuff hanging on the walls, organization. First off, well done, my friend. But I enjoyed our time together this weekend. I enjoyed the regional. So good to see you again.
Thank you, sir. I want to say thank you for coming. And I also want to say it was good, us 3 being back together, covering NCAA regional. Feels like old times. I've had the pleasure of covering this baseball team since 2023. And I've been in the press box with us 3 for most of that time, and it was good to be back doing that. UNC Chapel Hill, some of the best hospitality there is in the country. Was a whole lot of fun. Unfortunately, the Pirates did not get it done, but heck of a season.
No doubt. We'll get some further thoughts from yourself here in a few minutes on the regional. Let's start with a little bit of the breaking news, although not a huge surprise, but ECU infielder and former starting shortstop Matt Lashley has announced he's entering the transfer portal for his upcoming senior season. Lashley, of course, started really the majority of the games at the beginning, first half of the season, hit .276 with a .764 OPS across 47 games in his 1 year with the Pirates. We just never really got the full story on his health situation. He had the weird nagging hamstring deal. Then he got sick. He missed a lot of time after that. Never really got another shot to start full-time. So I would love to know what really happened here with Lashley. Obviously, Nick Parham played down the stretch. I talked about it on yesterday's show. I think the inconsistency at shortstop has really hurt ECU's program. And the Lashley situation was just kind of another deal within that, Philip. So this is I can't say I'm surprised at all. If you're Lashley, in many ways, you kind of lost your job or got benched for Nick Parham, and his production was, mediocre down the stretch. So I kind of expected this.
Yeah, I think so. Look, man, this, Matt came in. The nice thing is he was hitting the ball well, but it became a defensive liability thing. And it really, the icing on the cake, I think, was hitting the guy running down the baseline against NC State the midweek here in Greenville. And we really didn't see Lashley in a huge role after that. So that was that. And, at the time, though, when he got benched, I do want to remind people, Parham was playing much better than Parham was playing down the stretch. Now, obviously, it was frustrating to see, Parham, play the way he did, especially, on Sunday night. But overall, he was probably more consistent in the field than Lashley. But when a guy who is hitting 270, 280, when he gets benched in a lineup that's struggling, that's when you know it's a defensive liability. And therefore, I think at that time we all knew, hey, look, this guy's probably going to hit the portal. And now that he's in, from what I've kind of gathered from people close to the program, he wasn't like he was. It's not like anybody disliked him, but it wasn't like he was like really fit in as like one of the true part of the guy. He wasn't part of the core group of guys. Really, he wasn't that tight with anybody. So that there was that side of it too.
And Lashley cooled off significantly down the stretch, guys. He was hitting 420 on March 15th, and if you look at his average, obviously you're not going to expect a guy to hit 420. And then he was hitting 341 on April 11th, and then really just kind of some of this was the inconsistent ABs, but kind of just didn't have a ton of success at the plate down the stretch. I think I'm seeing just 3 or 4 hits here over his last 15, 20 appearances. So I don't know, Cason, your thoughts on Lashley leaving after 1 year with the Pirates?
Well, it's very interesting because to start the season, the answer was him, his glove. He was Defensive Player of the Year, where he came from, knew him for his glove, comes in. If I'm not mistaken, his first game was against UNC maybe or around that time. And then he started off at the plate super hot. And we're like, whoa, like I thought this guy was supposed to be this amazing glove, amazing arm, great range. And kind of the bats we're just going to have to deal with his batting average and his batting skills. But it was the complete opposite. And after that UNC series and then around, I think it was the LeClaire Classic, we're kind of like, oh, was Lashley the piece that we've always needed at shortstop? And then, like you said, Steven, he was batting around 420, and then it just kind of fizzles off. And I don't blame him for entering the portal with his own play and just how it was all handled, him being in and getting pulled out, playing second base. I mean, from a player's perspective, you want to have stability at your position group. And, I think it kind of played out the way it was going to, considering his play and considering Parham, Cliff Godwin, everything. But I mean, I'm just going to beat this drum again. They just have to find a shortstop. I mean, last year with Boucher, it wasn't the answer. I mean, Dixon Williams plugged in, played well, but this season just flopping back and forth between different shortstops just is not sustainable. And if you look at all the teams around the country that are good, they have phenomenal shortstops. I mean, look at the UNC Chapel Hill Regional. Jake Schaffner from North Dakota State was so good there last year. And then also, let's just talk about that. Scott Forbes, the way he finds these guys, Eric Paulson from Stony Brook, Heineck from Georgia State, and Jake Schaffner from North Dakota State. I mean, Scott Forbes is not pulling these guys from the SEC. He's pulling these guys from the CAA, Sunbelt, North Dakota State. And he's just finding the guys that fit his system, his program. And Jake Schaffner was on the all regional team, and he's one of the best shortstops in the entire country, and he was from North Dakota State. So the answer is definitely out there, and I think Cliff Godwin can find it.
Yeah, it's whether Lashley and or Parham came back, ECU has to upgrade the position. I have heard early intel that suggests Nick Parham will be back. Now, I don't expect him to open next year as the starting shortstop, but I'm fine with him being a utility guy, but you got to go out and get a shortstop. We talked about that yesterday. So it was a problem all year. Not surprised that Lashley – and I think it makes sense for both parties. I think, like Cason said, it makes sense for Lashley's perspective to go get a fresh start because whatever – I would just love to know the truth on what happened because it just seemed like the whole situation was a little off, starting with when he got sick, especially on top of the hamstring. All right, back to the regional itself, Cason. What are some of the things you'll remember most from the Chapel Hill regional experience?
The first thing I remember is Jeff Sabater. I mean, he just played absolutely out of his mind, and it was really, really cool because where we were, me and Reed Tobin for Carolina Curveball, our press seating was in the concourse at the tables, which was very, very nice because we were under the shade. There was a table behind us, so there weren't fans near us, which was nice. Just a phenomenal experience, phenomenal place to sit, and Jeff Sabater's parents were close to us throughout the regional, standing up like most ECU baseball parents do, and just to see them celebrate after every single base hit that he had was just very, very special to see. After every hit he had, you could see me and Reed turning to our left or right wherever they were and watching them celebrate. Just such an awesome story. And also, I want to touch on Jack Herring. I mean, just what an absolute dog. I mean, you break your hand, but you're like, no, I don't care because this is my last college game in the Chapel Hill Regional. I have to give it a go. It was sad to see him go out like that, the on-base streak come to an end. And lastly, Ethan Norby. I mean, just what a dog. I mean, just what that family has meant to this program. Sad to see him go out the way he did. I mean, granted, he could come back. We never know. Crazier things have happened, but just those three guys are the names that come to mind. I know I'm missing a whole lot more, but those are the three that mean the most to me.
Pirates fall in obviously the regional final 7 straight years. ECU has made at least a regional final, which is a pretty crazy streak. Cason, and we talked about it, but I think Carolina still wins the regional, but how much different does it play out if Ethan Norby gets the last out in the 9th inning on Henry Ford instead of giving up a game-time homer and has to throw, 2-3 more innings, and Tolek has to throw 3 innings, and you just wonder what would have maybe been different.
I think that is just the testament of the season of this team. I want to remember the 2026 Pirates as one of the biggest what-ifs in my time covering college baseball as well as East Carolina. Just what if Gavin Van Campen doesn't go down? What if Sean Jenkins doesn't go down? What if Braxton Trammell doesn't go down? What if Colby Weber doesn't go down? And like you just asked me, Stephen, what if Henry Ford does not hit that absolute shotgun blast? I mean, that is one of the loudest balls I've heard off a bat in my time watching college baseball in person. It changed the entire regional. It changed everything. It changed Carolina's approach. I think it changed everything. But like I said, I just think that just adds to the what-if pot of this East Carolina baseball team. And I think that if that doesn't happen, Ethan Norby starts the next day versus Carolina. And then it also begs another one of the last time they faced Ethan Norby. And I mean, they hit him pretty well in Greenville. And DeCaro had an 8-game shutout. But they also hit DeCaro well this weekend. So, Stephen, all in all, it just adds to the big bucket of what-ifs.
No doubt, all the injuries and the inconsistent performance throughout the season, which had a lot to do with the injuries. But I kind of said on the podcast last night, Cason, I'm curious to get your take on this. Like, is the next step for ECU getting back to look the postseason runs in Clearwater and the NCAA tournament the last 2 years have been fun, but it still has not been the standard. And I think it's important we remember that too, because we all kept saying, look, there's got to be some level of change or some type of reconstruction of the roster, at least some type of reconfiguring of what's going on here. Because this is 2 straight seasons with this core that I think will mostly be back next season, where the regular season was very inconsistent, and that cost ECU a chance at being a lock for the tournament or being in the mix for a regional spot. So how does that change next year with maybe most of the core coming back? Like, how do they become more consistent and get back to being able to compete for a regional hosting spot?
I think that brings up a whole lot of questions, to be honest, because, I mean, we've seen what this core has done, and I think they need to do a lot of self-reflection, asking tough questions. And it brings up the question of, like, is it that important to bring back a core? This is going to be controversial, but, I mean, this core has squeaked into the NCAA tournament. Yes, it's great to have guys. Yes, it's great to have guys back, but, I mean, would it be so bad to maybe have a cleaner look throughout the lineup? Maybe not. Maybe so. I'm not. I love this core. I mean, I've followed this core closely as I followed the program, but I mean, this is what this core has brought you. Yes, it is a very tough conversation. It is a tough thing to say, and I think the first step for this program in terms of getting back to that regional host, I think the first step is tightening its grip on the American Conference. I mean, in the early 2020s, around like 2017 to 2023, the East Carolina Pirates had a grip on the American Conference, and UTSA has kind of taken that. ECU has not beaten them in a series since they've joined the conference. I think that is step one, and I think if they, kind of tighten that grip back on the conference and kind of get back on top, that's the first step to getting back to regional host.
Yeah, the toughest thing for me, Philip, and final thing here before we get a break in, is like, I believe in ECU's player development under Cliff Godwin undoubtedly because of the track record of success. But it was odd this year that we saw And I don't even want to say Colby Wallace regressed as a player because, like, he did improve his average and his swing and miss, but, like, obviously the power just went away. And then Austin Irby, we know he had a sophomore slump. So, like, but then we saw on the other flip side, we saw Davin Whitaker become a star of sorts. Braden Burris continued his, stellar career. But it just feels like maybe the player progression was a little bit more hit or miss this year compared to past years. And if all those guys come back, like, can we all get them moving more so in the right direction again? Does that make sense, Phil? Because I feel like we had a little bit too much inconsistency this year.
Yeah, we did. And, another guy, too, that was really good, especially down the stretch, was Michael Kalinic. The guy that we didn't, last year would have thought, hey, man, is he even going to be on the team next year, right? So, unfortunately, these things happen. And I think the Colby thing, I wonder if Gotro had something to do with that and the fact that he changed Colby's approach. Because like you said, the swing and miss was down, the average was up, defense pretty much stayed where it was. Obviously, Gotro doesn't have anything to do with that. That's Palumbo's side of stuff. So, it was bad not having the power, but if Braxton Trammell doesn't get hurt, are we even talking about the fact that Colby Wallace only hit one home run, or do we not really care? So, I think that's got something to do with it. Man, Davin Whitaker was supposed to be, we talked about it yesterday, Stephen, he was supposed to be the fifth outfielder, right? He wasn't even supposed to play this much, and he was a dog. So, yeah, I know it was frustrating because it seems like most years in the past, everybody's been on a positive trajectory. This year you had one guy, officially go down in Irby, and then, it depends on how you want to look at Colby's numbers. But at the end of the day, look, man, I think it was a blip on the radar. I'm not worried about the player development. What I'm worried about is keeping the core group around, staying healthy. I don't know. Mike Mullis was on PJ yesterday. He kind of hit on, is there something they can change in the offseason? Something they can change building up? Something they can change early in the season to help with the health? Or has it just been crap luck, right? So that's another one, too, is health. And, look, sometimes, though, with Irby, is it just sophomore slump, or is it that he felt the extra pressure because he got paid whatever he got paid? I don't know. There's a lot of factors, but the coaching staff, I don't think it's the problem.
All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll talk about our discussion of the day. ECU-Tennessee, definitely one of the better postseason games we've seen ECU play just from an entertainment standpoint in some time. Where does that rank amongst some of the best regional games dating back to 2009 when ECU first hosted a regional inside Clark LeClaire? We'll break that down. We'll share the list and get into that discussion after this.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arrgh! In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Allen, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today.
Oh, hey, welcome back. You got here just in time. This is Hoist the Colors on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Second segment here, Hoist the Colors. We've got Philip Pilkington, we've got Cason Remaley. Also, our interns helping out, pulling some clips from today's show as well. So look for those on our social media channels, and we'll have that up too. Let's get into this discussion, gentlemen. Now, I posted this on the Hoist the Colors message boards. I posted this on Twitter, gotten some good responses. And what I did was I came up with 6 regional classics dating back to 2009. These are all games ECU played in and won. And basically rank the 6. Now, I'll go by chronological order here, just to kind of set the stage. 2009 regional championship, ECU 10, South Carolina 9. This was the first regional ECU hosted inside Clark LeClaire Stadium. Down 3 to South Carolina. Coming out of the loser's bracket, Devin Harris ties in the 9th with a 3-run bomb, walks it off in the 10th with a single at the middle to score Kyle Roller. In 2016, winner's bracket game, ECU at Virginia. Defending national champions, national seed, trailing 6-3. In the bottom of the 9th, ECU storms back, walks it off on Travis Watkins' 3-run bomb, and Charlottesville goes on to sweep the regional. 2021, winner's bracket game, ECU Charlotte. Charlotte was up 5-2 entering the 7th. Gavin Williams started this game, actually got hit around pretty good. And then Charlotte's bullpen melted down ECU. Crowd went nuts. Pirates stormed back, score 5 across the 7th and 8th to win 7-5 in the winner's bracket game. Then they beat Maryland to sweep the regional the next day. 2022, Virginia ECU again, this time in Greenville. Zach Agnos loads the bases in a 4-2 game and strikes out the next 2 hitters in the top of the 9th to secure the 4-2 win. Pirates go on to win the regional championship. That was their 20th win in a row, by the way. They end up winning over Coastal after Coastal snapped that streak the next day. 2024 elimination game, ECU Wake Forest. Trey Savage versus Chase Burns. It was like there were 2 games in one. Trey Savage versus Chase Burns was one game, and then the 9th inning was a whole other game. Wake Forest scores 5 to take a 6-4 lead. ECU answers back with 3 to walk it off. Luke Nowak, the hero, in an elimination game. And then this year, Tennessee, we've talked about it a lot, 14 innings, the longest postseason game in ECU history. Pirates appear to have it won before Henry Ford ties it in the 9th. Ethan Norby bullpen appearance, clutch home runs by Davin Whitaker, Walker Barron. ECU finally closes it out in the 14th. So there were others, I'm sure. Like somebody pointed out, ECU beat LSU at LSU in a regional game, which would have to be up there. There was a big rain delay as well against USF back in 2001 in Wilson that ECU came back and won after that. But we're going to roll with these 6. And I guess how we'll do it, gentlemen, is we'll just start with – we'll go one by one, each of our number 6, and work our way down. And don't be afraid. Look, this is a personal preference list. There's no right or wrong answer. I will say I was at every single one of these games. Cason, which of these games were you able to see?
I was at 1, 2, 3. I was at 4 of them.
Okay. So you were at 4 of them. And then, Philip, you were at 4 as well?
Yeah, I was at the same 4, I guess. Cason, I'm guessing you were not there in 09 or 16?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I don't think either of y'all were thinking about ECU baseball in 2009.
No.
How old was Case in 2009?
I was 8 years old.
All right. There you go. I was, in 2009, I would have been 15. So that was the one game I attended as a fan. The others I was working. All right, so let's start with number 6. I guess I'll go first. This is such a tough list, man, because like this doesn't deserve to be number 6, but something's got to be number 6. I'm gonna go with the 2022 game against Virginia. And my reasoning for that is like when I think about these games, I think about specific moments, and this is the one game where like I don't really remember. And A, I have a terrible memory, but B, I don't remember too much about this game other than the Agno strikeouts. Now I do remember. It was absolutely electric because it was the 20th win in a row. It felt like that team was never going to lose. So even with Virginia loading the bases, as somebody who covers the team, I almost felt like it was just like adding to the drama, but they were still going to win. But that was a phenomenal game. The Saturday night game for regional is always the best, and 2022 is number 6 for me. ECU wins at 4-2. All right, Cason, you're number 6.
It's not my number 6. For me, I'm going to do my top 4. So I'm going to do 2009 is technically 6 for me because I was 8 years old. I know all about it, all history about it. But I was not there to experience that. I was not old enough. I was 8 years old. So I'm going to go 2009 for me.
Okay, completely fair. Philip?
I catch flack for this. I'm going to go the 14 game against Tennessee. As fun as it was the other day, it depleted the pitching staff. I think coming into this regional, we knew we were playing with house money. All these other years, you feel like you legit stand a chance to go do something special. It was cool. I enjoyed every minute of it. However, I also was like trying to contemplate how I was doing the Patrick Johnson show the whole time. So it kind of took away the fun. I'm like, how am I going to get to this press conference? I was kind of stressing out the other day. So, I'm going number 6 being the other day.
That's fair as well. Number 5 for me, I have the 2026 regional opener versus Tennessee. And, I kind of went back and forth on this, but I do. Somebody brought up a good point, Hoist the Colors. Like, their personal list mattered in terms of, all right, how much did the game help ECU win the regional? So they had this one last as a result because, like, obviously it was a great game, much like the Wake Forest game, which we'll get to, but it didn't help ECU win the regional. So, but just from an individual game perspective, I tried not to get caught up in the moment. But still, top 5 for me, all the back and forth with the latter innings. If by the time we got to the post-game press conference, it felt like Evan Blanca and Ryan Towers had pitched like 4 days ago. It was insane. We've talked about it, the Ford home run, extra innings. I thought ECU for sure was cooked after giving up the game-time homer and the game-time single, but you credit Norby and Antolik. God, phenomenal game. A lot of moments that I'll never forget. So it's tough to put that one at number 5, but I have it at 5. Cason?
I'm going 2026 because this is the lone game that I was not at. I was 15 years old. I was a freshman in high school. I was starting to get into college baseball a little bit, was not watching it a lot, but I did not watch this game live, but I know all about it from you, Steven, because when I started to enter for Hoist the Colors, you gave me a whole history on ECU baseball and everything. And this one is pretty electric. Like you said, Virginia coming off national title at that beautiful stadium, by the way. Oh, my gosh, that's a wonderful stadium. But Travis Watkins, forever ECU legend. And it's 5 personally for me.
This makes sense for sure since you weren't there. But you've done your homework, so definitely you understand how big of a deal it was. Philip?
The game I'm putting at 5, I actually want to put it at 1 because it's the only one on this list that I attended as a student. And, when you're a student and you're out in right field and you're in the jungle, it's great. And, man, the atmosphere that night was amazing against Charlotte. However, I got to put it at 5 because I think if you lose this game, look, Carson only threw like 60 pitches the day before against Norfolk State. You had a really deep pitching staff that year. Really, Gavin's your only guy who's not going to be hot moving forward. I still think you win this regional. I didn't think Maryland was that good. I think they could have clawed their way out of the losers bracket. Therefore, and you had to beat Charlotte twice in the back end, not even beat Maryland twice. So that's why I'm putting this one at 5.
All right, I have the Charlotte game at number 4 for me, and I feel like that game, if you were there, like, I know it's Charlotte, so maybe it's not as remembered as like the win over Virginia, but the crowd for that game like willed them back to victory. It was insane. Like you could feel how much Charlotte was rattled. I can't remember the guy's name, but they brought in their ace out of the bullpen to try and win the game, and he just was never comfortable. ECU bashed him around. Bryson Worrell had a critical double. Lane Hoover, the go-ahead hit. I still remember like the moments. I still remember the Hoover hit. I remember the fans chanting Hoove. I remember Bryson Worrell slide at home plate where he like popped up and did a little spin. Like those are the things I remember.
That he scored from second.
Yeah.
Because that ball at first looked like it could have been caught. He had to hold up between second and third.
Yeah, so that was like it was obviously the year before Worrell went absolutely bonkers in the postseason, but the start of postseason Worrell. And then, Charlotte hits your guy and Gavin Williams, and you still manage to come back and beat them. That was a phenomenal game, and Pirates going to sweep the regional. So that's number 4 for me. Cason?
Number 4 for me is 2021 as well versus Charlotte, because this was my first true ECU baseball experience coming in 2019 as a freshman. ECU hosting this regional, I was just all about it. This was my first really regional experience in person ever at any place, so it will forever be special to me that regional, because wasn't there a really long rain delay versus, was it Maryland, and the game got pushed back super long or something like that?
There was some sort of delay in that regional because basically every regional or postseason event ECU had for that run from like 2018 to 22, there was always a delay of some sort.
Sunday, there was the weird pop-up shower that was not on the National Weather Service radar nor any of our local meteorologists, where all of a sudden there was not a cloud in the sky when I left my house on Stratford Road. I was walking in the center field gate and the bottom fell out and the tarp got tangled. And ended up being like a 2-hour delay because we're standing water in the outfield because they couldn't get the tarp pulled.
So that's number 4 for me and Cason. What about you, Philip?
I'm going to go to the 2022 game against Virginia. I think this was crucial in being able to win that regional. I don't know if this team comes out of the loser's bracket, and I don't know if Zach Agnos' career is where it is today as a pitcher. Unfortunately, he did get sent down yesterday after a couple bad outings. But that strikeout with the bases loaded, it kind of stands alone for me in this because it seems like every other time it had to be a late game hit, and it was finally the late game pitching heroics for ECU. So, I really remember this one. This is the first one I ever actually covered as a media member.
Good list for sure. All right, we got to get a break in. I will say somebody pointed out in the comments section that the ECU NC State elimination game from 2019 is on his list, and I didn't put that on the list because I was looking more for electric finishes, but as far as electric performances, Jake Agnos, 8 innings against NC State in basically the best performance of his career, 127 pitches, 4 hits, 2 runs, ECU 9, NC State 2. That was the 2019 regional where both ECU and State lost the first game, met in the elimination game, and it was electric. But there wasn't much drama there. ECU put up a 6 spot early and kind of rolled. But Jake Agnos, for a performance, definitely deserves to be mentioned.
Up there with that in the UConn start he had in 2019 at home where he threw 8 1/3.
Yeah, I mean he was a dog that year. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll hit our top 3 of the top regional finishes games of recent memory. So we'll be right back.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Cason Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
In Eastern North Carolina, people appreciate things that are straightforward, honest, and dependable. For decades, our team has focused on cutting through insurance complexity for the communities we serve. And now, we're bringing that same mindset to our name. We're Flatlands Insurance Group, a simpler name that reflects the same local team, the same values, and the same commitment to the great communities we feel blessed to be a part of. Flatlands Insurance Group, your whole world is covered.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Remember, get the podcast of the show on the IBX Media app or where you get your podcasts.
Got it. You don't have to tell me twice. I remember it exactly.
Stephen Igo and Voice the Colors on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Segment 3 here. Fun discussion we're ongoing with Cason Remaley from Carolina Curveball and also Philip Pilkington, talking about some of the top ECU regional games in terms of atmosphere and finishes. In recent memory, our list is 2009 Regional Championship, 2016 Winners Bracket game, ECU Virginia, 2021 Winners Bracket game, ECU Charlotte, 2022 Winners Bracket game, ECU Virginia, elimination game in 24 between ECU and Wake, and this year's regional opener against Tennessee. We'll continue on. We've done 6 through 4. We each have a personal list. We got 3 through 1 coming, and this is I'm going to let you lead it off, Cason, because this is more your era, at least for you. I know that you're going personal preference. So 3 for you. What's on the list here?
That's a really good way to put it, Stephen. This is, excuse me, my era. And number 3, I have the 2022 ECU win over Virginia. I mean, that regional, that honestly, me and my friends talk about it. My time in Greenville, that Greenville regional and the Texas Super, probably the best time I've ever had in my college career. Just those 2 weeks, just so much fun. The only thing I remember are the baseball games themselves. Everything in between, not much. But just an absolute time, some of the best times of my life. And Zach Agno striking him out, and then his celebration on the mound was just absolutely electric. And that extended the streak to 20 games. Now, it would have been better if they beat Coastal the next day to extend it more, but then we wouldn't have had the Bryson Worrell just absolute explosion on Monday and just the absolute Superman catch. So that is number 3 for me.
No doubt. That whole run was insane, man. And felt like the team was destined. And then Texas happened. But we were talking in the break, Philip and I, maybe we do our worst games ever for the postseason. There's no shortage of candidates there, too, but Texas game 2 would 100%. And the rain delay game 3 would be up there. What about you, Philip? Third on your list?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the game up in Charlottesville 2016 to come back the way they did, to have the inning even before the 3-run jack, that just capped it off. Because what were they down, 6-3?
6-3.
Yeah, and to finish it off like that, and then it just kind of like it took the wind out of Virginia's sails, because Virginia got beat in the Sunday morning game. So Like you said, ECU goes on to sweep the regional. Was it George Mason or somebody like
William
that?
and Mary.
William and Mary. Okay, and it was a green team.
Yep.
So that was huge, and I do remember this one. This was before I was an ECU baseball fan, or ECU fan in general, because I had not decided yet that I was coming here. But I do remember watching this game, and man, that was a special moment.
All right, number 3 for me is 2024, Wake Forest, ECU. Could easily be number 1, maybe number 1 on you guys' list. We'll see. But, Chase Burns, Trey Savage. You don't even really need to say much more. Collapsed lung he's coming off of. He gives up 1 hit. Just absolute legendary performance. You get the hat tip. You got the Agnos hat tip from 2019 versus State. You get the Savage hat tip picture, all-time GOAT from 2024. And then, the last few innings happen. I don't even know how to describe the last few innings. Do you guys know how many pitchers ECU threw to get the final 5 outs? I've got the box score pulled up.
I'm scared to know.
4.
7. It took 7 pitchers. Danny Bill, Aaron Groller, Wyatt Shinkman, Colby Wallace, Jackson DiLorenzo, Eric Ritchie, Charlie Hodges. Charlie Hodges got the final out, I think with the bases loaded, after Wake had put up a 5 spot to go up 6-4, only for ECU to walk it off. Luke Nowak, the eventual hero. I don't even know if Wake Forest got an out in the bottom of the 9th. The 9th inning was an absolute event. Yeah, bottom of the 9th. Riley Johnson single, McChrystal single, Jenkins Cowart single, Dixon Williams single, Jacob Starlin hit by pitch. Okay, Wilcoxon reached on a fielder's choice. That was the 1 out, and then Luke Nowak single. So, absolute insanity.
That was the best inning on here. If we had to pick the innings that were played in these games, that's number 1.
Just and the fact you had that inning following Trey Savage, Chase Burns, that's that could be number 1. Cason, you're number 2.
Number 2 is 2024, the game we just talked about. Steven, that year is also special to me because it was just me and you covering that team the entire season, and and I remember going into that regional, everyone talking about the whole national media, Wake Forest preseason number 1. Also, Trey Savage had 1 hit, and there was a MLB big leaguer that's in the show right now, Nick Kurtz. He was in that lineup, and just that whole lineup.
He's the only one who had the hit. It was just him.
And he was fast tracked to the majors. He didn't spend 4 years in the damn minor. He was there in a year.
Yes, he was phenomenal. And just Steven, and Philip, just the whole national media. Oh, is everyone ready for Burns Savage on Saturday night? Nope. We're seeing him Saturday morning at 12 o'clock. Absolutely. And just the excitement in that short time. And it's the Evansville loss was brutal. But then I just felt like it was just oh my gosh, the Evansville loss felt distant to me because oh my gosh, Chase Burns and Trey Savage are about to play right now. And then that happens. And then the 9th inning happens. And mind you, me and Steven's jaws are hurting because we went through 50 pounds of double bubble in the press box, stressed out about what's about to happen. So that one is number 2 for me, just an absolute all-time moment. And it's the most ECU thing ever to have Luke Nowak walk it off too.
Luke Nowak, man, what a guy.
And something we did not mention, the Dixon Williams homer off of Burns was absolutely, that was just, oh my gosh, unbelievable.
Electric moment. That game, that was like a season adventure in itself. Yeah. Philip, you're number 2?
Yeah, I got that one as number 2. If you notice here, I saved the 2 games that were true elimination games for 1 and 2 because technically my 3 through 6, had ECU lost any of those games, the tournament would have not been over. So that did play a little bit in my rankings here. But, everything Cason said. I'm not going to sit here and just repeat what Cason said. What a game. The only guy that was happy, I guess, that ECU and Wake got beat the day before was Aaron Fitt because he was debating on Thursday whether to go Saturday night to LSU and North Carolina or to go to watch Chase Burns pitch against Trey Savage. Aaron Fitt got to see both. He did have to leave in the 9th inning, though, and he said he watched it from like the outfield fence. And the second Luke Novak walked it off, he had to like sprint to his car to make it to Chapel Hill in time.
Number 2 for me is the 2016 Virginia winners bracket game. ECU walks off Virginia. That was Cliff Godwin's second year, and the team was good, but they were overachievers to a degree, and as close as any team to Omaha. And it started with that comeback, really out of nowhere. Like Virginia was kind of on cruise control, and then in the 9th inning, ECU did what ECU does. It was like single. There was a bunt mix in there, then a sac bunt mix in there, and then a walk-off homer by Travis Watkins. I mean, to walk off the defending national champs on their home field. I just remember being in the press box. I'd already written my gamer for ECU losing. They're going to play, the losers bracket game, or I guess William & Mary is who it would have been. And then, I just remember vividly hitting delete on my computer and just deleting the whole story as the ball sailed over the fence and racing down there, man. Just a chaotic game for ECU. And then obviously that's the only time ECU's ever won a road regional, sweeping that Charlottesville regional. And Virginia was so shell-shocked. I remember O'Connor after the game, he was saying all the right stuff, but you could just see it on his face. Like they were done at that point because of how they lost in that 9th inning. So that's number 2 for me. Being there on the road, witnessing that was crazy. Plus, I had a really good bond with a lot of those players. Charlie Yorgan, Turner Brown, Travis Watkins, Garrett Brooks, Eric Tyler. I knew a lot of those players personally, so that made it extra special for me. All right, that's my number 2. Number 1, Cason, what's on your list?
Number 1 for me, it's controversial, but it is very personal to me. It is 2026 versus Tennessee, the 14 innings. It is personal for me because this was the first game in an NCAA regional that Carolina Curveball had credentials in the first game. Is this 14-inning absolute barn burner, one of the best college baseball games I've ever seen in person or on TV, and just every single pitch just meant something. Every single pitch, I just grabbed my pen tighter and tighter and tighter and was just clicking the absolute snot of it. I know Reed told me one time, "Can you stop clicking your pen?" I'm like, sorry. It was just absolutely unbelievable. I just cannot believe it. And I'll never forget Henry Ford's bomb, and then Davin Whitaker's is just forgot about. I mean, Stephen, you touched on it yesterday during this show, then your Bucks on the Pond show. That was just an unbelievable, just absolute line drive to right. I mean, off the bat, I didn't think it was out, and then you're watching it, and you're watching, I don't know who was playing right field for Tennessee, but you just saw him tracking back, and you're like, oh, no way. And then Walker Barron's shot, I mean, that's one of the hardest hit balls I've seen hit out of there. I mean, I thought that was Vance Honeycutt at the plate, how hard he hit that ball over the scoreboard. That's number 1 for me, recency bias, as well as very special for Carolina Curveball as well.
Totally understandable, and man, a weekend I'll never forget for sure. Philip, you're number 1.
I'm going to let you hit on it more because I think we have the same number 1. So we go with the regional championship game in 2009, and I think the biggest reason that this is number 1, it was not only the comeback, but just how ECU won the Game 6, where they were up 8-0, allowed South Carolina to almost win. They crawled back, scored 6 in a row, and then to open the game the way they did, it just, I'm guessing, I wasn't there, but it just had felt like all hope had been lost. And then even when ECU starts crawling back, JBJ, of all people, goes yard. Since when has Jackie Bradley Jr. hit home runs?
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is, I attended as a fan. I would have been, again, I think 17 at the time in 2009. And so, yeah, I mean, you had star power. South Carolina's lineup, Whit Merrifield and Jackie Bradley Jr. were the first 2 hitters in that lineup. So, I mean, 2 long-time big leaguers. They combined to go 6 for 11 in that game, 3 RBI. JBJ, he took a home run away in that regional. Devin Harris was the star for ECU, game-time homer in the 9th, and the walk-off. But, yeah, a lot of people forget it was 6-0 South Carolina, and you just felt like you were done. And the Pirates just came back, scrapped back. By the way, Chris Heston pitched for ECU in that game, also a big leaguer. Mike Wright pitched for ECU in that game, got the win, also a big leaguer. So you had star power. But first time ECU was hosting in Clark LeClaire Stadium, which was built specifically to host regionals. I remember everybody holding up the 23 signs, in honor of Keith LeClaire. It was emotional. It was epic. And, to win it in that fashion, I'll never forget. I mean, to me, it, cemented. If you were in the stadium that day, you were cemented forever as an ECU baseball fan. Kind of like for Cason, that was a different regional for him. For Phillip as a student, different regional for him. So that's what makes it all special. But to do it for the first time hosting in that fashion was incredible. So that's number one for me. Well, that was fun, gentlemen.
I liked that. That was when you texted that this morning. I think Case and I both got a little giddy on this one.
Yeah, always good to kind of have some off the wall topics instead of just recapping the what has just happened. Let's get a break and we'll come back. I'll read some comments as well, and we'll wrap up the show. Any final thoughts too before we run out of time? This is Hoist the Colors.
The power of savings is yours at Greenville Toyota with powerful deals on our huge selection of new Toyotas, like a Camry, $229 a month, or the all-new RAV4, $279. Don't miss the power of savings at Greenville Toyota.
In Eastern North Carolina, hard work matters, and it always has. At Flatlands Insurance Group, we've been showing up for our neighbors since 1963, helping families and business owners navigate change, weather tough seasons, and keep moving forward. Decades later, our purpose hasn't changed: to help protect what you've poured your time and energy to, from your home to your health to whatever comes next. Flatlands Insurance Group, your whole world covered.
Need cash for a vacation? National Finance Company is here to help. For over 50 years, National Finance Company has been the small loan specialist with loans from $1,000 to $5,000 with low payments to meet your budget. We're in the business of getting you the cash you need today. Apply online for a loan at one of our convenient branch offices and get your money as fast as today. It's easy. Get the vacation cash you need. For extra cash, visit nfcmoney.com.
Your future is full of possibilities, and Pitt Community College can help you explore every option. You can earn a degree, learn a trade, transfer to a university, or launch a new career. We offer the support you need to succeed with flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and programs designed for the real world. Your path, your future, your college. Pitt Community College. Register now.
Visit Larry's Steakhouse for a tender, hand-cut certified Angus ribeye. Other entrees include perfectly seasoned pork chops, chicken or seafood favorites like shrimp, tuna, and salmon. Complement your meal with Larry's fresh 20-plus item salad bar, or enjoy it as an all-you-can-eat entree. Daily rotating favorites include meatloaf, chicken pastry, hamburger steak, spaghetti, pork chops, and more, all complemented with your favorite country sides. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, or our Sunday brunch, remember to support and eat local. Larry's Steakhouse.
The hunting and fishing event of the summer comes to the Greenville Convention Center, July 11th and 12th, bringing together the best hunting and fishing vendors, outfitters, and fishing experts, all under one roof. Special free events, including a mountain trout pond, indoor archery range, offshore fishing experience, interactive duck blind, and free seminars. Don't miss it. The Mid-Atlantic Hunting and Fishing Expo is July 11th and 12th.
With new Toyota trucks from $259 a month, you've got the power of savings at Greenville Toyota. Drive Tacomas $259 a month or Tundras only $399 a month at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
He's got his finger on the pulse of ECU athletics. Word of caution, though, we're not sure where else he's had that finger.
Ew.
Back to Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Hoist the Colors. Cason Remaley, Phillip Pilkington with us. I'll read a few comments before we get out of here. We just ran over our top 6 regional games. We ranked them all. John Moody says, swear that home run in 09 landed in Charles Boulevard. The Devin Harris homer. Yeah, it was absolutely launched. No doubt off the bat. I still remember him also just slinging his bat as he hit it. CBA points out, was on the first base stand next to the USC lady that did not shut up the whole weekend yelling her player's name every at bat. There was the most annoying South Carolina fan ever imaginable at that regional. I do remember it now that you put that into the universe. I'm glad ECU won that for that. CBA points out Josh Moreland's bomb in the 2022 regional against Virginia was electric. And Hunter Corbett says no particular order for him. Agnos dominates NC State. Virginia ECU with Watkins and them in 22. ECU Wake Burns versus Savage in the first game against Texas in the Super Regional, his favorite postseason games. So there is some comments there. And I don't know, man. It's just it would be nice to get back to ECU hosting next year. Of course, we got all offseason to discuss that. But I did want to give you a chance, Cason, before you get out of here. Carolina Curveball, you guys, like you said, your own scene. Your plan is to cover the Super Regional, I think, to at least some degree with USC rolling into town. But where can people check out Curveball if they're looking for some more, college baseball postseason coverage?
You can find us at Carolina Curve BB on all social media platforms. Our YouTube, we're doing a live show tonight to recap the NCAA regionals with a Carolina's pro focus. I mean, we're going to talk about the Tar Heels because, they are now, I think, the only team in the last 3 years to host a super regional, which is phenomenal. I mean, the job Scott Forbes has done there is absolutely phenomenal. So you can find us there. I also want to touch on, Steven, thank you for letting me shout out, but also for me in that mix is ECU just beating the crap out of Kevin O'Sullivan in Florida last year. That's up there with some of my favorite regional memories too.
That is a good point. The game was almost such a blowout that I've already forgotten about it, but beat him twice. Pretty sweet. By the way, same thing happened to Troy yesterday. We got to get out of here. Cason, appreciate you. As always, Philip, thanks to you for the work, also the interns for the social media help too. We'll be back Wednesday, 12 noon with James Giglio. And then later this week, we talk some football. We'll talk Alabama with one of their beat writers as we look ahead to the football season. So we'll see you Wednesday, 12 noon.
With your host, Steven Igo. Get a recap of this show at 943thegame.com and on your IBX Media app, on Twitter, Facebook, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Tune in weekdays at noon to get your ECU sports fix with Steven Igo and